Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky194, and I appreciate you taking the time to visit and check out my video. And we are here at Oulton Park, and been working on a setup for the Honda EVO since there was a good amount of Honda. We didn't have a big field, but there was a um, good amount of Honda EVOs in the field. So I wanted to try it out here to see if I could improve upon the setup, and man, I was surprised. I really think the Honda works really good here at Oulton Park, and it really helps, being consistent, and as far as doesn't overwork you like some cars. Some cars might be faster, but you got to really work it, and I mean, it really wears you out. The Porsche I really like here. It's probably my favorite car here, but I mean, it can be a workout. But this car, the Honda, is has really good pace, and it's not wearing you out doing it. So I really like that. And it's good over bumps. It just does everything really good. So let's make a few laps here at Oulton Park since we haven't been here in a while, and then we'll go over the setup. And of course, I'll put a link to the setup in the description. And also, before we get started, of course, don't forget I now have a link to PayPal in the description, also below the link for the setup. And if you can help support the channel, any donation will be greatly appreciated. Just to thank you, just to help try to make the channel better, and always make improvements. And hopefully I'll have a Patreon here real soon too. If it's not there, it'll be there soon. And like I said, all my setups are free, and they'll stay free. But again, if you can help support the channel, I'd really appreciate it. And so let's get this thing started, and we'll go ahead and jump behind the car. Go over a few things since I haven't been here in a long time. Okay, again, here is one of these tough places to go to get a reference. So basically, it's once I'm getting past this fence here. I mean, basically, I wait till I go past the beginning of this fence, and that's when I'm on the brakes. And basically, I try to stay pretty wide here because, I mean, you get the best apex you can. I could actually move over a little bit more, but I mean, you try to stay as wide as you can on this line, and basically just focus right here on this apex, because that's what you're wanting to hit. You're wanting to basically just hit this apex here where that cone is right here sticking up. So of course I'm gonna go downshift into third. I tried second, but it seems like it's too low. So you're better off just try to keep third and just try to keep the momentum going through there. And you can see I'm going right through here. Cut it a little bit too much. Better off to be a little bit over. But but the beauty of this car again is it didn't really upset it that much. It might have upset just a little bit, but where other cars it would really mess it up, it didn't this. Okay, it's really bumpy down here, so once you're getting through here, I try to always stay to the left. Once you get, instead of trying to be over to the right and a normal turn, like being all the way over to the right and going in, it's way too bumpy over there and way too wavy. It'll just throw you all over. So I would not recommend going over there. I just actually hug in the inside and just hug it all the way around. You'll see when I go straight, I'm already over here to the left. Instead of, you can see where some of the line is, where a lot of times they're all the way over here. I'm like a full car length to the left. One, it helps because it's going to be hard for somebody to pass you, and I can guarantee you if they go over here, they're either going to get in this junk or they're going to be bouncing all over and go off into the grass. It's really hard to handle it. So I just go in here and then just hug this inside here. Get on the gas real early with the Honda, especially there because I'm in third. Run it out. And then here is when I'm coming up to this drive here. I just touch the brakes and downshift one gear. So I'm not really holding the brakes for any length of time. Just get on the brakes to settle the car and downshift. So I'm already off. Then I'm accelerating actually. And then here, it's right when you go past this red spot on the fence. Right here. Oh shoot, I missed it again. Right, this spot here. I'm going past it, right up to it, and then I'm on the brakes all the way down into first. Now here, I just want to say, be a little careful when you coming off this corner. Try to carry the momentum and the speed through here. You can carry a lot of speed through here, but the big thing is, try not to be a light switch and just jam on the gas a lot of times coming off of here. Try to ease on the gas as you're coming off of this turn, just for the fact, the Honda has, some pretty bad turbo lag, and when you come off of here, you're in first gear, and when you come off of here, you just hammer it in the transition here, it'll throw you sideways. A couple times I had to counter steer it pretty quick and all that, so you're a lot better off just aggressively feeding the gas in, and it'll take it a lot easier, and you'll come off straight as an arrow. Okay, here I'm on the brakes. Basically, I'm looking for this little thing here. A lot of times this thing will get knocked off, but I'm looking for, see this little concrete little thing here, grate or whatever. That's what I'm looking for right there, and I'm on the brakes there. And again, here it's so easy to go in. I've done it with the Porsche here, and I've done it even with this. If you brake it's a teeny bit early, you're a lot better off because you can really set this up, this left right. Now you can run over this curb. It takes it like, man, it takes it as good as the Bentley. I mean, you can pretty much run right over it, but I just don't, I hate doing that a lot of times just because I'm always afraid of the tires losing air and then changing my pressures. So I basically just, a lot better off just to go around it, especially since this car is a short wheelbase. It thing will change directions like in a nanosecond. So I usually just try to cut it back in. And we're going to see that when I come in here. We go here. See, I really like to cut it back on the back side of this. Okay? Because if you don't and you cut it in, then you're out of position. And this thing is really hard to hit. You do not want to hit this thing here. This thing will josh you all over the place. Could wreck you or spin you. It could, you lose a lot of time. So really what you want to do is if you're not going to run over the curb, you want to come on almost like the backside and come off and stay to the left and then go to the right. And that way you're getting all this momentum and drive coming up through here. See, and that's as close as you want to be. And I come down here and brakes all the way down at the 1, right at the 1. Down, shift into first. Come through there. A lot of times I'll just barely touch the brake coming through here to get the car to rotate. And then here, if you watch my other video with the Porsche, see this little dip? This little dip right here. And we'll try to back up here so you can look for it at more of a distance. And you can see it right up there. See that little dip right there? I can see it even from this angle, but that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that. You're going to aim for that dip, and as soon as you pass it, excuse me, drinking some lemonade. As soon as you pass that, that's when you're going to turn to the right, and you're basically going to that way you miss the big bump here on the inside of the right-hander. So you want to go just past that right there, and then you're going to cut here to the right and miss that. And then here, it's just basically going left to right. Cut. You're all the way to the left, and you're going to go all the way to the right to that sign. And then you're going to go back to the left. And then basically, this Sunoco sign, this second Sunoco sign. That's what I look for as I'm passing it. And basically downshift to third. And you're going to downshift to third, and then you're going to hug this. You're going to do like an early apex. That's what you want to do here. You want to do an early apex, and then it's going to run it wide, and then like a double apex, you're going to come back again for the next right. And it's kind of blind. You just got to trust doing it, but you just use your judgment on these curves on the inside. And see, you're coming back again, and even if you run over that, it's okay. You might lose a little time, but it's all right. And of course, be careful there because too far out and it'll catch you and suck you in, and also you can get out of bounds. So you can hit the grading, that's no big deal, but just be careful. And then here, right there where the arrow is where my brake marker is. Go down into first. Okay, and then here, if you can see it, there's a big dip right here on the inside of this turn. So really, I'm almost a little bit too much to the inside. I think I barely touch it, so it's not too bad. But you don't want to hug it too much. A little bit of a later apex in here is better, just for the fact that you miss this little dip, and that dip all it does is upset the car. So you want to miss that. It's right here before this cone on the very, very inside. So, a lot of times, like I said, I'll try to run it just a teeny bit, little bit wide there. You can see it hit it just a teeny bit. So let's jump inside the car. That was my fast lap at a 134.45. Try to keep your momentum through here since you're in third. I tried second through there also, and it's just too low. It's just too. You're better off in third. You lose time in second. All the bumps or the ripples or whatever, it takes it okay. It might lose a little teeny bit of time, but the car's rock solid. So it barely touched it. Like I said, I usually try to run a little wider there. That was a 134.62. So really happy with that. So let's go to the last lap. That lap there was a 135.25. Of course, I am playing with a lot of things to see what the car likes or doesn't like. So you might have to turn up the traction control 1 maybe. I did that just to help. It seemed like it gave me a little bit more in reserve as far as stability. You only had it on, I think it's only on 3. I turned it up to 4. Car is very, very stable. It definitely inspires confidence. Doesn't feel like it's nervous or darty or anything like that. I was really impressed. I mean, I really think it definitely is a good car for here. And that was the last lap, like I said, for the 30 minutes. And that was a 135.45. So basically a second slower than my fast lap. So I mean that's again, I'm really happy with that. I think it's has really good pace. So let's go to the timetables. And I had a couple outs. One I spun down here. Um, Not in that fast left-hander. Never. No, that was fine. I actually spun over there in that that real tight chicane there. Just I must have hit something, hit that inside too much, and it spun the car around in the grass. So that's kind of a throwaway lap. And this one, I think I went out of bounds somewhere. I don't remember where. But all the other laps, you can see, 34.8, 6, 34.99, 34.6, 34.6, 34.5. I mean, that's a lot of good consistency all right there. Even that's 35.0. Then you got another 34.95 here, 34.84. So there's a lot of good laps in there. And then it started slowing down here to the end, but still not real bad with a 135.25 and a 135.45. So again, I mean, I'm really happy with it. And fuel-wise, I mean, of course, I always have 80 liters again with all my setups. But it has more than what it needs. I mean, I think it only needs about 76 to do a 45-minute race. So, that's good mileage here too. So that's always a plus, which means you don't have to carry extra fuel compared to, let's say, the AMG where you got to carry 90. If it was dry, it was 90 liters basically for yes, you only got to carry like 76. So I mean that's 12 liters. So that's again that's always an advantage. Here's the setup. We get 26.8 on the left front and right front, and 25.8 for the left rear and right rear. The tow is negative 0.05 with the camber at negative 3.8 and the caster at 12.1. And on the rear, the tow is 0.08 and the camber is negative 3.2. Electronics are 3, 5, and 3. Fuel, of course, I had 80 liters. And there was just light graining on the front, and that is it. So that's very satisfactory. I don't mind that at all. The wear it's a little, I like the BSC a little bit tighter, but it's not real bad. It's not extreme. So it's still good, and I'm happy with that. Mechanical got 4 on the anti-roll bar, 55 on the brake bias, so that's really good. That's really good on the brakes. 11 steer ratio, and you can go down to 54 here later on if you want to help the car rotate. It's not a problem. I usually just do it a little bit at a time, like a 2 or 3 tenths at a time, but it's not a problem to go down to 54. The springs on the front are 142,000 with a bump stop rate of 900 and a bump stop range of 15. On the rear, the springs are 160,000 with the bump stop rate of 500 and a bump stop range of 40. The anti-roll bar on the rear is 3, and the preload on the diff is 50. And of course, all this is dramatically different from the aggressive setup. The aggressive setup, wasn't terrible or anything, but it wasn't real easy to get a hold of, especially in the very beginning laps. The first lap or two, it was tough just to get around the track. So this is, you can pretty much right from the green you can go. So always with all my setups, pretty much, it's just normal. I mean, in the first lap, your brake markers, you back up a little bit and things like that. You just take it a little bit easier, until your tires get up to temperature. But that's normal. All the setups are pretty much that way. The shocks on the front are 13, 16, 25, and 28. And on the rear, they're 14, 15, 24, and 23. Aero, I have 59 in the front, 73 in the rear with a 12 rear wing and a 4 and a 3 in the brake ducts. And the front aero variation is a 1.6 to the positive. So that is the setup for the Honda NSX EVO. I hope you enjoy it. And of course, I will put the link in the description along with my PayPal link. Of course, that'll all be in the description. and any support is greatly appreciated. And any thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to help my little channel. I know we got like 60 to 61% of the views are from non-unsubscribed people, so I would really appreciate if you subscribe and help out the channel. And I sure hope you come back and visit again real soon. Y'all take care. See ya.